This morning, I released a feature with one small thing inside of it, which I think is actually going to help me and hopefully lots of you as well to simplify what it is that you're doing and be far more effective, actually doing less. Anybody who's used a task system for any period of time has the satisfaction of getting these ideas out. But yes, even with lovely emojis and headings, it pretty soon becomes an overwhelming list. And there's something unusual hidden inside there, even though these all look like tasks. The interesting thing is that many of them are not. And so what I'm speaking about today is this idea of extending the things that we allow people to capture to keep their minds flowing like water, a concept that I so enjoyed from David Allen's Getting Things Done. Your mind can generate great ideas, but it uses energy to keep those things alive. So getting them out of your head can be really important. I added in this feature, which has been incredibly useful for me, which is this global quick add. So from anywhere in the system, I can just press Command-Shift-M, and up comes the window that lets me just capture what's on my mind. It has a lot of the power and features inside MakeTimeFlow that I can just go ahead and use and get things out of my head. By default, it was always just capturing tasks. But this morning, we extended a feature on production, which now has a much more sophisticated understanding of what things are that people are capturing and how they're thinking about organizing their tasks. There are more power-ups lying inside there, but today I want to talk to you specifically about the difference between the tasks and information. When I am capturing things and observing how people use the system and what makes them effective, I realize that not everything that I think about and want to sort of like get out of my head is something that I'm necessarily going to turn into an action. It's really just notable to me. Obsidian does this quite nicely already, and I think I was very inspired by this, where when you're making your hierarchical lists and, do this and get milk, these are just thoughts, right? Until you press like the command period, and then it turns it into an actual thing. This I am actually going to do. It wasn't clear to me that I should include different kinds of types. Adding new types or anything that somebody needs to make a decision on in MakeTimeFlow, I'm very sensitive to, because I want to preserve your cognitive bandwidth for you to be making choices about what you're working on and staying in flow. I want to be very careful about what I ask people to make decisions about. But this is so powerful when used right that I think it can really help to guide people. So now you'll notice that when you're in the platform and you add in this, something that you've got there, by default, it's just notable, which means that it's just information. You'll see that you can change them into other things. We'll talk about what each of these are and sort of how they work. But when you've added it, you don't need to think about anything. You just save it, and you don't even have to think about where it gets filed. And it, of course, goes into your inbox. These are ideas that you are just thinking about. If you need to do it today, then the fast way to do that is to just select it here and do this, and then you time box it. And it automatically knows through this gesture that this is going to be a task, something you're going to make actionable. Not only that, but I can set a time that's there for it, and then I can quickly press Command Enter, and it'll start a flow mode timer for me. So I can really dive into that. A quick, fast way to keep doing things throughout the day. Actionable tasks are going to be shown with their usual checkbox indicating there's some action, and information just gets the sort of the little dot, not necessarily actionable. You use simple gestures to turn them into tasks, putting them in your today or your next bucket, or you just keep them and then they stay in your outline as ideas that you can refer to once a week when you review your whole outline. So it's one of the subtle but deep features that you can use to prevent yourself from feeling that you have to act on everything that you've thought about and collected. It's a brief, sort of hopefully natural default for most people that they will say, I've thought of something notable. Then do I want it, at the one time in the day during your shutdown ritual, you decide, is this actionable? And if so, when? Easily doing that with just simple choices of what bucket it goes into, or you just keep it. And then you'll be able to review that once a week or once a month, whatever your cadence is for your weekly reflection and planning. All right. Hope this helps you to level up. I'm super excited to use this a lot more myself as well, so that I don't feel overwhelmed by having a series of tasks, but understand that these are just ideas I've thought of.